Is exploring ways of increasing vaccine supply through engagement with partners like the African Union and also direct bilateral engagement with vaccine manufacturers. The vaccine supply chain globally has been a significant challenge as countries around the globe have restricted export of vaccines that are manufactured in their countries. We urge our global partners to be equitable and fair to all countries that are also facing the same challenge managing the COVID-19 pandemic. The government expects to receive another 2.5 million doses of vaccines next month. This consignment will go a long way in boosting our vaccination exercise in the second phase of this program, which will see more Kenyans receive the jab. In total, we expect to receive about 20 million doses from the COVAX facility this calendar year. On our COVID statistics, today 984 Kenyans have tested positive, people have tested positive to the disease, from a sample size of 5,318 tested in the last 24 hours. Our positivity rate is at 18.5%. From these cases, 928 are Kenyans, while 56 are foreigners. 521 are male, 463 are female. The youngest is 6-year-old infant. The oldest is 97. Our total confirmed cases now stand at 135,042, and the total number of tests that we have conducted so far stand at 1,494,777. Nairobi continues to lead the number of confirmed cases, registering 483 over the last 4 hours. Kiambu had 73, Machakos 61, Uasin Gishu 46, Nyeri 36, Nakuru 35, Kericho 32, Kitui 28, Mombasa 23, Kisumu 21, Meru 20, Kajiado 20, Makueni 16, Nandi 12, Kilifi 10, Samburu 9, Siaya 9, Migori 9, Bomet 6, Kakamega 6, Homa Bay 6, Baringo 4, Bungoma 4, Busia 3, Marsabit 3, Muranga 3, Nyandarua 3, Elgeyo Marakwet 2, Kirinyaga 1, Mandera and Vihiga 1 each. On a positive note, today 388 patients have recovered from the disease. 314 from the home-based care, while 74 are from various health facilities. Total recoveries now stand at 93,067. And we continue to thank our healthcare workers for the good work that they have carried out persistently that has enabled us to attain these results. Sadly, 14 deaths have been reported in the last 24 hours. 2 of them having occurred in the past 24 hours, with 12 being late deaths reports from facility record audits that occurred on diverse dates. This now pushes our cumulative fatalities to 2,167. Our sincere condolences go to the families and friends of those who lost their loved ones. A total of 1,557 patients are currently admitted in various health facilities countrywide, while 4,879 patients are on home-based isolation and care. 161 patients are in the intensive care unit, 48 of whom are on ventilatory support, and 104 on supplemental oxygen. 9 patients are on observation. Another 252 patients are separately on supplementary oxygen, with 240 of them in the general wards and 12 in high dependency units. We shift to vaccination. The statistics on vaccination thus far, we have been able to vaccinate 196,435 persons. Amongst this, 111,458 are male and 84,977 are female. Nairobi County has vaccinated 63,034 persons. Uasin Gishu, 13,884. Nakuru, 11,994. Kisumu, 8,656. Kiambu, Kajiado, 6,842. Kiambu, 6,497. Mombasa, 6,397. Muranga, 5,471. And I will not go through the rest, but they will be in the report once you get it, the statistics. In terms of distribution, by the categories of Kenyans who have received these vaccines so far, healthcare workers account for 74,698. Security officers, 14,364. Teachers, 24,615. And others, this would mainly be those over 58 years and perhaps a few others, 83,210. Adverse events that have been reported through the app, about 40 of them, which are mainly minor adverse events that are expected to accompany vaccination of this nature. I must caution that these events have, however, not been significant to warrant any investigation. I thank you. We can now take a few questions.
Various side effects as a result of the vaccine, and this is causing fear because some people are experiencing them longer than others. So maybe for the sake of clarity as a ministry, could you kindly give us what are some of the expected side effects that could come from the vaccine, how long it could last, and what would be considered an adverse event? Number two, we're witnessing a trend whereby face masks are littered everywhere. What are some of the health risks of poor disposal?
Please repeat that question. Can you repeat that question?
We're witnessing a trend whereby face masks are being littered everywhere. What are some of the health risks of poor disposals of the masks, and how can this be mitigated? Also, on the adverse events that you have just read, 40 of them, this was the same number that was reported when the vaccination process started about 1 week since the vaccination lecture started. So does this mean that those adverse events have not increased?
Yes.
I have several questions, and my first one is with regard to the vaccine. India has reported that they are going to delay the distribution of the AstraZeneca vaccine. What are our options in case they delay reaching in the country? And specifically, I'd like you to highlight other options if you already have them in place. And then another question, which is away from the COVID-19 pandemic, is there's a dwindling supply of...
Digitize a lot of our processes. These devices, we use them for the 2019 census, and during that time we were able to be a lot more efficient in the way we run our census, and because of that, we have the various countries. We have 5 countries. We have Botswana, we have Mauritius, we have Namibia, we have Sierra Leone and South Sudan, who have come to us and requested that we provide them with the support so that they can also digitize their census. We have found, sir, that the skills that we continue to build are allowing us to bring together the continent and allowing us to bring together the way that we work. We work together as ministers of ICT across the continent, and this collaboration is helping us leapfrog and move us to the next level. So, Your Excellency, we're very pleased that you've been able to continue to support us and ensure that we are investing continuously in the digital arena. This has allowed us even to create jobs in many areas. And for today, I want to now invite the ambassador from South Sudan to speak on behalf of the other countries on this program and how they see it. So, Your Excellency, welcome.
Your Excellency, I won't say much. I just want to thank you very much, Excellency President Kenyatta and Right Honorable Raila Odinga. Just on behalf of my colleagues who are here, the High Commissioner of Botswana, and my brother Abdul Karim from Sierra Leone, the Minister for Penitentiary, to thank you on behalf of the our respecting countries who are receiving these devices. It makes a lot of difference. Of course, as a South Sudanese, I'm not surprised for my government to be getting this support from Kenya. This has been ongoing. We work together to where we are, and I fully believe that this is from a brother, sisters in Kenya to South Sudan, and I'm sure the same feeling with my colleagues that are behind me here. I've been talking to my minister this afternoon that I'm going to the State House to receive these devices that would help our colleagues in doing statistics, because knowing number of people helps us in development. So thank you very much on behalf of the group and also on behalf of the government of South Sudan. This is something that we really appreciate, and we will continue to look forward to Kenya, because from the refugees camp to where we are now, it was Kenya always with us. And thank you very much, and thanks to the government of Kenya and the people of Kenya for this matter.
So, Your Excellency, it is now my pleasure to invite you to address the nation. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. The Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, Your Excellency Ambassadors, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. So ladies and gentlemen, as we forge lasting bonds between our nations on the African continent, we affirm that the path to prosperity for individual African states lies in promoting intra-Africa trade, integration, and the building of bridges between our communities and nations. Today we are experiencing a rare fusion of Pan-Africanism and the information age. As you will recall, in August of 2019, Kenya undertook a successful national population and housing census, an important national exercise that provided the information required by government to better plan and to deliver on our national agenda. This was the first ever digital census undertaken in Kenya, and its backbone was heavy investment in ICT equipment, including tablets, servers, and their accessories. The use of digital processes enabled the results to be released in record time. From that experience, we have been able to roll out digital services across many government services, increasing speed and efficiency of service delivery. Today, in solidarity and fraternity with our brothers on the continent, we share our experience on the ICT-run processes with our neighbors and our friends. I acknowledge with immense gratitude the countries that have made study tours in Kenya to understand the census process including Uganda, Tanzania, Botswana, Namibia, and Liberia. Under the auspices of the South-South Cooperation, which is a technical cooperation among developing countries in the Global South, my administration is ready to support other African countries to enable them undertake their census. Through this initiative, we have decided to donate 45,000 census gadgets to 5 countries, notably Botswana, South Sudan, Mauritius, Sierra Leone, and Namibia. Apart from these gadgets, the success in the census has also put us in a position to offer technical transfer to our fellow brothers and sisters on the continent, something we are more than happy to share. Indeed, as our forefathers, led by President Nkrumah, ordered us in 1963, independence, and I quote, independence is only the prelude to a new and more involved struggle for the right to conduct our own economic and social affairs, end of quote. So today, we join hands with our brothers and sisters, and we say to them that they can count on Kenya's unwavering support in every single aspect of their national lives as we continue to make this continent more prosperous for its people and for future generations. I thank you all very much. Yeah.
Kwanza huko naenda na hii huko, ufungulie mimi hii niende nayo huko. Kwanza nibadilishe na ingine, wacha nikae na hii.
Thank you, my dear brother. Most welcome. Karibu sana. Karibu sana. Okay. Very well. Nataka kuchukua tena fursa hii kuwarudishieni asante sana nyinyi wenzetu waandishi wa habari, ambao tumeandamana na nyinyi siku ya leo, tukiwa pamoja na ndugu yangu Mheshimiwa Raila Amolo Odinga, tukiwa tumetembea tu kuangalia miradi mbalimbali ya maendeleo katika hapa mji huu wetu wa Nairobi na pia katika kaunti jirani ya Kajiado. Tunasema ya kwamba ushirikiano wetu ndio unatuwezesha kufaulu na kutengeneza mambo ambayo itakuwa ya manufaa kwa wananchi wetu, na ndipo tukasema ni vizuri tutembee pamoja. Nikamwalika, na nashukuru sana ndugu yangu kwa kukubali kuja, tushinde pamoja na wewe katika shughuli hii ambayo ilikuwa imepangwa siku ya leo. Niseme pia ya kwamba nina furaha na nashukuru Mwenyezi Mungu kwa sababu siku ya leo pia ni siku ya ndugu yangu ya kwanza kuwa ameweza kupata ile cheti ya kusema ya kwamba sasa ni COVID negative. Tunamshukuru Mwenyezi Mungu kwa kumlinda wakati huo mgumu, na tuko na furaha tukiwa pamoja naye, tukijua ya kwamba sasa tunarudi kazini pamoja vile tulikuwa, ya kuunganisha Wakenya, ya kuendelea na maendeleo ya taifa, na hiyo ni furaha yetu sisi wote. Kwa hivyo hongera kwa, tunaona bado nguvu iko mingi. Mungu ni mwema na tunamshukuru, na kwa sababu tayari tumekuwa na nyinyi, mumeona yale ambaye sehemu mbalimbali ambazo tumetembea. Ningependa nimpatie ndugu yangu sasa nafasi aseme machache kidogo, alafu tuweze kujibu maswali yenu. Ndugu yangu.
Wacha kwanza nichukue fursa hii kutoa shukrani sana kwa ndugu yangu Rais Uhuru Kenyatta ambaye amekuja akanitoa kwa kitanda akaniambia nitoke. Vile hii mnajua, kwa wiki 3 sasa nimekuwa nimeugua ugonjwa wa corona, na nimekaa nyumbani kwa wiki 2. Wiki moja nilikuwa hapo Nairobi hospital, lakini sasa mara 2 mfululizo madaktari wamekuja wakanipima na zote zikatoka ati COVID negative. Kwa hivyo wamenitoa na mimi nikasema nitatoka ili niende nje niweze kuonana na wananchi, wanione ana kwa ana ya kwamba mimi niko sawa sasa. Tena wanipata ni fursa ya kuona miradi zingine za maendeleo hapa Nairobi na vile vile nje ya Nairobi kwa nchi ya Kajiado. Miaka karibu 10 iliyopita niliongea juu ya mambo ya miundo msingi. Nikaulizwa ati njia gani ambayo tunaweza kuleta maendeleo kwa njia ya kasi katika taifa letu. Nikasema number 1 infrastructure, number 2 infrastructure, number 3 infrastructure. Na yale imekuja sasa kuingia, na nimeona vile serikali inafanya. Hata ukichukua zile big 4 agenda iko infrastructure ndani yake, na hiyo ni muhimu zaidi. Nchi nyingi ambazo zimeendelea kwa njia ya kasi ni nchi ambazo zimechukua mambo ya miundo msingi kwa muhimu zaidi. Kwa hivyo natoa shukrani kwa serikali. Najua wakati huu ni wakati mgumu kwa taifa letu, wakati sisi tumekumbwa na janga hii ya corona, na tena imerudi kwa njia ambayo iko mbaya zaidi. Tunazidi kupoteza wenzetu kila siku, viongozi, watoto wa shule na kadhalika. Lakini mpaka sisi tuzidi kujihadhari na kufuata yale kanuni ambayo inatoka kwa wataalamu ambao tumeweka pale. Najua ni ngumu zaidi. Tena kuna eneo zingine za uchumi ambayo watu wanaumia kabisa. Na mimi najua kwamba serikali itajaribu kusaidia wale wengine ili waweze kumudu shida kwa wakati huu kama sasa. Sasa tunaelekea kwenye sherehe ya Pasaka. Ina sababu kunataka nichukue fursa kutaka kila Mkenya, ingawaje tuko na shida, lakini tuwe na Pasaka njema ile mahali ambayo sisi tutakuwa. Vile rais amesema, mbele tuko na kazi ya kufanya ya kuunganisha Wakenya ili Wakenya waje kama kitu kimoja. Tunataka kurudisha Kenya kwenye gurudumu pale ambayo ilianza wakati tulipopata uhuru, ili Wakenya wawe kama Wakenya ambaye hakuna ubaguzi ya ukabila, ubaguzi ya kijinsia, ubaguzi wa kirangi na kila kitu. Mimi nina hakika tukiungana pamoja tutafaulu. Kwa hivyo Pasaka njema kwa kila mtu, na tuombe Mwenyezi Mungu azidi kulinda taifa letu.
Well done. Asante. Kwa hivyo ni wapatie nafasi kuuliza maswali zenu.
All right. My name is Sam Gituko from Citizen TV, and it's good to see you, former Prime Minister, in your element. I just want you to clarify or tell us about what the kind of treatment regime you're going through, and as you went through these 3 weeks, were you scared at any point in time? And to you, Mr. President, of course, after the measures that you announced last week on Friday, there's been a lot of cry, especially from institutions and firms that have been affected by the partial lockdown and the other containment measures. So for you, as you listen to this cry, which sometimes and mostly is genuine, what is that will make you decide to go back to the economy operating in full capacity, as it were?
Well, you hardly can tell how you contract this disease, because you really try to do your best. Like, I've been keeping social distancing, I've been wearing masks, and I've also not been avoiding crowding. But it just comes, and you find yourself feverish and getting a little bit weak. And then when they do the test, then they find that you are positive. But I do believe that the best way to go is to follow the instructions that we are getting from our experts. There's really no other way out of it. And but also, now that the vaccination is available, I really want to encourage our people to take advantage, particularly those who are advanced in age, to do vaccination. I am going to personally arrange to do a public vaccination so that people can see that I have confidence in the process.
Thank you. I think the issue you raised is a self-answering question. I want to make it categorically clear that the measures that we have imposed are not my measures. These are measures that have been brought to us by those who have the knowledge, the professionals, the doctors, the medical practitioners, the scientists. They went through and we had long sessions with them. And this was their recommendation, that if we are to stem this virus from continuing to grow, kill people, the only thing we can do is to lock down. In fact, if we had gone by their extreme measures, they had wanted us to lock down the whole country. We had to come down to tell them we also have an economy, we also have livelihoods, which we must consider. And that is why they picked those counties that we locked down as the most heavily infected counties, and we went for what is called a partial lockdown, not even a total lockdown, a partial lockdown. As the Honorable Prime Minister has said, it is true. As a result of that partial lockdown, some segments of our economy are indeed hurting. The hospitality sector, the bars. We also know that churches are not having the opportunity to gather, but at the end of the day, we have not said that people cannot pray. And we welcome people to pray in their homes. But the most important thing is that we must stay safe. And by staying safe means we do everything that is possible to follow the protocols and the guidelines that have been given to us by the health experts. The washing of hands, the social distancing, the wearing of masks, and indeed encourage those, especially of that age bracket that is most vulnerable, is the elderly, who are most susceptible to death, to be vaccinated. And as to when these measures will be removed and we can go back to normal, which is our prayer every single day, depends on how we are able to flatten this curve. When will we be able to get to an infection rate that has gone to a high of almost 27% in those counties that I've mentioned, back down to below 5%, which is the recommended level in order for us to be able to open up the economy again. So all I can say is, fellow Kenyans, I know it is difficult, but we cannot pretend that this disease is not with us. We cannot ignore the advice that we are getting from the World Health Organization, from CDC Africa, from our own experts, that the only way to save lives is to take the measures that we have taken. Please, let us work together. Let us cooperate and collaborate with our health experts. And the sooner every single Kenyan begins to do that which is necessary, the sooner we shall be able to get back to normal. Next.
Thank you, Mr. President. My name is George Maringa from KTN News. And as you speak about, ensuring that the percentage reduces to below 5%, we've seen the donation to the 5 countries. And the question that, of course, Kenyans are asking is, when shall, last year you introduced, or rather you announced the mitigation measures to cushion Kenyans. This time when you announced the partial lockdown, we haven't seen much of that, considering that also the such donations would be made through manufacturing. When are we likely to see you and your government intervene, especially to ensure that Kenyans are cushioned even on matters tax? Thank you.
Well, you must first and foremost recognize that this lockdown is very different from the first one. The last lockdown that we had, had to lock down the whole country. And that is why we had to take some of those measures, because we basically locked down the whole country and the whole economy. This time, luckily, some counties have done extremely well. And the rate of positivity was not the same across the whole country. So we were able to narrow it down and lock these. I think there were five counties. The rest are still functioning as per normal. And it is our hope that within that 30-day period, and hopefully even sooner, when we are able to bring that curve down, like I said, to below 5%, that we shall be able to resume. And that is why we have not locked down, like I said, we have not locked down the economy. We have locked down specific areas that have been mentioned by our health experts as being the areas of super spreaders. And that is public events. That is where people, more than 50 people gather. That is why bars have been closed. That is why churches have been closed. But the rest of the economy is still going on. We have not closed our markets. They are still operating, all within normal operation times. We have not closed down factories. In fact, factories are still operating on double shift. Yes, so we have a problem in the hospitality sector. We possibly also will have a problem in the entertainment sector. And we will look to see how we can work together to support some of these sectors. But that will have to be on an issue-by-issue basis, because it's not, when you talk tax, you talk about the whole country. You're not talking about a section of the country. So we will have to look at whatever measures that we can take that can specifically apply to within those particular counties. We have, for example, in Nakuru, where they have said there will be no licenses, it will be paid, because that is how they are going to cushion the business operators in Nakuru. We hope the other counties will also do similar interventions, so that the levies that people have been paying and so on and so forth, are waived in those counties that are affected. So it will have to be a case-by-case basis, because this is not a national lockdown, and we cannot do different tax measures, for one county as opposed to another. This is what I hope you will understand.
Right. Thank you, Mr. President. My name is Gina Kiroi from MTV. My first question is to do with the hospitality sector. Are there any specific incentives that are going to be put in place to cushion those?
I think I've just answered that.
In terms of domestic travel, because there's still that issue of domestic travel or flights chartering from back and forth. Are there any specific incentives for that sector? And my second question is with what happened with the third wave. Political rallies were banned, but we saw double standards several times. What's going to be done differently now to ensure that when you say political gatherings are banned, they are banned and no one is going to go through with them? So yes, thank you.
Let me put it to you this way. I think it is a reverse question. I think that you have a huge responsibility to show out those people who are breaking. That is why specifically today, when we went to launch these roads that we were doing, when we went on the inspection site, we have actually done it virtually, only with the company of the Right Honorable Prime Minister and yourselves. We didn't call in the general public. We counted on you, and we thank you very much for being able to accompany us, so that other Kenyans are also able to see and to take note of what is happening. So I think that is all I can say, that we will do everything we can, but we will also depend on you, members of the Fourth Estate, to help us to show up those who will flaunt these rules, and we will ensure that anybody who does, action will be taken against those people. We want to be able, and we can work. We can do all these things like we have spent the day with you, without necessarily breaking the COVID rules. So we have shown that it is possible. We can work within that framework, and we hope that others will do. And those that don't, there will be no differential in the measures that shall be taken against them.
Last question.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. My name is Givasun Maina from K24. My question is, on regards to the vaccination and the vaccines, and this is AstraZeneca, a section of Kenyans are worried that we've only managed 1.2 doses, and some have taken their first doses, some have not yet taken it completely. What's the progress so far? For those who have taken, some are saying if the government there's no plan or it could delay, then they could miss on the second doses, and even for those who have not taken completely. Thank you.
I want to assure you that nobody who has taken their first dose, and that I can give you complete assurance, is going to miss out on their second dose. That's point number one. Point number two is that it is a fact that there is a global problem in the supply chain of vaccines. Every single country is having problems accessing vaccines. But what we are doing is working day and night with all the different partners that we have across the world to ensure that we are able to get these vaccines in the shortest time possible, in order to be able to first and foremost ensure that all frontline workers are vaccinated. Secondly, those who are most vulnerable and those living with comorbidities, it's those living with comorbidity and those who have are above a certain age, again are also covered, as we move towards vaccinating generally the adult population of Kenya. So we are working day and night to ensure that we have these vaccines here and available, but I give you the assurance that anybody, and that is why it is very important for the records that are being maintained by, that's why you're being asked for your telephone number, your place of residence, and all those questions. Those questions are so that when your time comes for the second injection, you are made aware that your vaccine is in place X. Please make yourself available to be administered with a second dose. So nobody who has received the first dose will miss out on the second. And point number 2 is that we are working day and night to ensure that we are able to get the necessary supplies in order to be able to vaccinate our population. Yes?
So there's a question I raised with the former Prime Minister. He didn't quite respond. And I was specific on during the treatment regime you went through, what exactly were you going through on a daily basis? What was it like, just briefly? And then secondly, how are you feeling this afternoon?
Well, I thought I responded. I say that the first when I was admitted at Nairobi Hospital, they put me on a certain drug that they were administering intravenously for the first 5 days. And when they stopped that drug, then when I went back, actually I was in a regime of a mixture, more of a herbal drugs that I was able to receive. And that's what I've been using. And secondly, I've been steaming a lot in the evenings. And then, of course, I was on an oxygen for a while. But then eventually they weaned me out of the oxygen because my oxygen levels are 90 and above. But it is a process. It takes a process, and one just have to be at it and has to be disciplined and follow the instructions of the doctors.
Well, thank you all very much, and once again from both of us, we wish the whole country, all Kenyans, a happy Easter. To all our Christian brothers and sisters, my plea to you once again also, please, please stay safe. Stay safe for your sake, for the sake of those that you love, for the sake of your neighbors, for the sake of your friends. Let us stay safe during this particular holiday, and together, I am certain, we shall defeat this invisible enemy. May God bless you all. Thank you, colleagues from the media, for accompanying us and being able to participate with us as we have been inspecting these projects and telling Kenyans what is going on. And we all wish you the very best. Thank you all very much. Tunashukuru sana. Asanteni sana. I don't know whether you have another...
No, I have nothing more to add. Happy Easter to all our people.
Asante. Karibu.
Next on
unywaji wa pombe kupindukia.
Bebe.
Pablo.
Bebe.
Pablo. Uni nani?
Babe.
Anafanana na
Hai.
Jamani, Adaka. Umepikia watoto? Hai. Acha nipite tafadhali. Nyumba yako ni pombe, watoto wako pombe.
Moro. Hili nini buda? Oni lawama nini? Sana unakujaje hapa na nini?
Wauzia wanafunzi wa shule pombe, na huo ni ungwana?
Yay! Oh,
I was practicing. You know, doing something hard over and over so I can get good at it. I'm practicing being the audience. You see, the kids are going to put on a circus for Morty and me, and I want to be ready to be the best audience ever. I truly dooley do. Want to practice with me? Come on. Yay! Oh, you're good.